never mind what you seen.
Never mind what you heard.
Seen and not heard. And yeah, we're definitely back. You know, me and the guys here, we've been having some good sports talks. Just talking basketball, keeping our mind off of any other distractions.
Go Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, never mind that too. That's crazy.
Sports is universal.
Yeah, I had to get that
Unlike
off.
some things.
You know what I'm saying? We always save it to the end of the episode, so I want to make sure we say it at the top of the episode. Shout out to Royal Soul. Shout out to Royal Soul Production. You know what I'm saying? The man behind these cameras that create the experience. Shout out to my guy Welch. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, bro.
Facts. And if this is your first time, like, subscribe, share, comment.
And shout out to all the new subscribers.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Went up like 10%.
For sure. My guy Tim is back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Nah, man, we appreciate you being here, man.
Definitely.
Like you know, so far we've heard great responses on you guys' episode that we've already showed. We still got one.
But would y'all keep it a stack and tell me if the responses were horrible?
Of course.
Oh, for sure.
Yo, what would that text sound like coming to me like where I was invited, but now I'm not?
Nah, I wouldn't uninvite you.
Yo, bro.
I'd be like, yo.
Hate to break it to you. We got to rescind that, yo.
Not even. Just like, yo, you got space to grow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to word it.
It can really, like, yo, on the bright side, there's so much more you could do.
Yeah, your ceiling is wide.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like,
it's so high.
Like the future.
Yeah.
The future of you as a podcaster in comparison to where we started.
It's man, like
endless.
Right. But you know, we had a plan. And we're not gonna say what that plan is in case we get back to that episode.
Yeah, because we could pocket that.
Because one of those that we had to like move, you know, every now and then the text goes out and like the audible gets called. And it's because somebody did enough to mess up the schedule and simultaneously we care about what they did.
For sure.
Because there's some other things happening that I don't care about that we won't discuss.
Fuck no.
But yo, you got an LA hat on.
Green hat.
You spent some time in LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like although it's not traditional LA.
No.
Okay. I'm
traditional.
I'm rolling.
With the what the reputation or the aesthetic of LA is.
The sound.
Clearly a son of LA.
Which side of LA? Are we talking like
it's
real Seattle Mariners hat LA? Or are we talking
like
not
for that.
Hollywood,
my
flashy
is
LA?
very different.
Oh no, I know that. But I ain't know which side of LA we going.
I hear you, but I'm just saying as far as him, he's not what I would consider the aesthetic when I think of LA. Like like if you were talking about like maybe like I hate to say it, but like the Valley or something like that, maybe you consider like his vibe. But you know, enough of the small talk, guys. We are here to do Tyler the Creator Chromakopia.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And it deserved, like, I mean, before we get to the project, I guess we can keep having this combo about Tyler. You know, interesting, just I wouldn't consider him a Cali guy, but it's only because, like you said, you lived out there.
Yeah.
So you've seen different pockets and sides.
Oh yeah, LA is
mean?
massive.
Exactly. Like me, I'm thinking, I hate to say it, but it's like I'm limited to music and movies, and I'm piecing together Boys in the Hood in like my imagination and a bunch of rap artists, and I'm like, yo, Tyler was never there in my head.
That's a fact. You know, I don't know if he's from LA.
He's from
California,
the outskirts, like Ladera Heights or some shit.
Okay,
around there.
But even when I hear like, okay, like say for example, like somebody that we've done a few episodes on, because we did the Vince Staples show. That was our pilot episode on.
Damn, I'm mad. I'm gonna go back and watch that. I'm mad I missed that.
It's really good.
And we did his album.
We did his album. We did wait, which album was that? That was the one that came out this year.
His newest album. Yeah, I can't think of the title right now.
Oh my god!
But it's up there.
Yeah, but even with him, like, you know what I mean, when he speaks on Ramona Park and all that stuff,
Dark Times, or
like
some shit like that.
I think it's dark. Is it Dark Times or Dark Days?
Dark Days, Dark Times, something like that.
But he still comes across as what I view as LA.
You know, Vince is LA.
You know, like some I hate to say it, but some affiliations, some past of things that, like, you know, out of respect we will never delve into. And I just don't see that with Tyler, even though these guys are friends, which makes sense. And I hate to say it, but it speaks to the reputation that LA has kind of built in the brain of outsiders. For me,
LA has like real culture, like so much more culture than I would have ever thought. Like before moving there, I just thought it was okay. It's gangbanging culture, or it's just hey, you Hollywood, like.
And I hate to say it, I'm limited to that thought.
Nah. LA is like, you go to LA and just meet so many dudes, and they're really informative and like that was some like real black pride shit, for lack of better term.
I was about to say, even
when
like
I moved there.
I was going to say, even
LA is
even like
black.
I was about to say, even like the historical gang culture is more than what an outsider would view it as. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are things that are getting like passed down from people's grandparents. Like family heirlooms. Like, you know what I mean? Like just as much as you would pass down like a hutch in the freaking in the dining room to your grandkids, like they're like, yo, and this is what we claim. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and this is who we are.
They were real welcoming.
This is what you wear. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's the whole, like that's why everybody to me just has all of that knowledge ingrained, because it's just like you would pass down family values.
Like, it was super welcoming out there. Super welcoming. Even in like the heart of the city, the real gang life, 40s, 60s, all that. Still very welcoming as long as you come correct.
That's respect. Oh man. So I mean,
so what's up? What's y'all like like when's the first time y'all really like heard Tyler? Because like I could go on and on. If Katsky was here, we have the same history with Tyler. Jimmy Kimmel, or no, not Jimmy Kimmel. Who's the other dude? What's his name? When they did the late night show, Fallon. Seeing their first performance, with him and Haji, that's really my introduction, and I was hooked from there. Like I feel like a lot of people, me and Tyler are the same age. I feel like a lot of us resonate. Like I definitely resonate with him because I know what it's like to grow up as like a black kid around white kids and not knowing how to really fit in. You know, too black for the white kids, too white for the blacks. I resonate with that shit, and literally down to even like the shit that they was wearing, the shit that they were saying, how they acted. Like I lived a little bit of that suburban lifestyle and had mad black friends that was in the hood kicking it. You know what I'm saying? So, like the early Odd Future Collective, like seeing how they were into like underground hip hop, but then also were into like skateboarding and all that shit. So literally, that was most of my high school experience. Yo.
Him being the same age as you, I think is very important.
Very pivotal.
Because him being younger than me made me look at him away. In the beginning, when Odd Future first was a thing, I was like, yo, not calling them kids, but I hate to say it, but like when you're like that, when you're newly grown, you're like, these niggas is children and they're acting like kids. Because I'm so busy forcing myself to be grown.
Forcing the adult.
Like it's like I'm 22 and I want to be 26, and like, you know what I mean? All these like random things, but it's like in my brain, he was like, I was like, yo, these niggas are doing too much. Like, and I'm like, that's not necessarily my personality. So their personality didn't speak to me. So to be honest, it took a while for me to be a fan of him musically.
I'm actually pretty shocked. I'm very shocked by that statement. Not that I knew of you for so long before we actually like knew each other. But your aura and energy always spoke to like, there's more than a traditional, and like our era of coming up of feeling like, we all gotta be tough guys and gangsters.
I wasn't thinking that. It was like, you know what it is, bro? And I'm not big on the tough guy shit at all. That's not me. But I'm not big on weirdo shit, for lack of better words. Like, so, and I'm not calling him a weirdo, but things that were like very eccentric, like very like off center, like, you know what I mean? Like things that would, I hate to say it, would probably go viral from them. were the things that would turn me off. So I never got a chance to listen to the music.
Oh yeah, like his first 3 albums was heavy, like
so when
F-bomb, like
things
F
happening
word
with
that
like
we're
the
not
roaches,
supposed to say. Yeah,
like things happening with the roaches. Like
that was
Yonkers
fire
video.
But see,
that was
creativity was
those are the things that that were off-putting to me. Just not hearing anything, but just like, yo, what is this thing doing with the roaches?
Yeah.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, like yo, this thing's strange. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't against him. It's just that, like, for me, I've always needed something that would kind of like break an artist in my brain.
Okay.
And like something that snaps me out of like not worrying about them, because like there's so much stuff available that like I'll be like, whatever.
I'll get to it when I get to it, if I ever get to it.
I'll leave stuff alone, and then it's like they'll make one song, and I'll be like, oh, okay, like let's hear everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it was like people came from their camp, and it was like individually out of their camp, I'd say like, of course, Frank Ocean, of course, Vince to me, and then Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl, what about? See, I don't know if have you listened to much like Damo?
Never.
Damo Genesis?
Never.
He like, so when
never anything bad
why
either,
niggas like me and
nothing.
Katsky like really fucked with them, it was like they drew the Wu-Tang comparison very early. Mostly because I mean, just look at it, like young collective, it's 100 of them in there.
Niggas.
They handle their own production, you know what I'm saying? And there's just stylistically, there was like a little bit of something for everybody. So you had guys like Mike G, who was kind of like more laid back. Haji was more lyrical. Damo was like the weed rapper in the beginning, but then as he started to like progress with his career, like just another just raw lyricist, storyteller, shit like that. Vince obviously holding you down with the storytelling, and he's got the gangbang inside, you know. You got a couple actors in there, like L-Boy and Taco ended up becoming their own fucking nationally syndicated shows, you know. Shout out to L-Boy. Lionel, he's been on 2 seasons of The Bear, you know what I'm saying? They win in fucking award after award. Like, they just had so much to offer, where like,
and that's where you're more of a hip hop fan.
Word. Also that, understandable.
That's another thing that people don't know. Like, I'm not the biggest hip hop fan.
Really?
I'm way more of an R&B fan than a hip hop fan.
And that's crazy because Sid comes from that.
So you
know what I'm saying?
In the internet,
yeah.
Okay, that's my shit.
Okay,
you know
like yo, their shit. It's like it's crazy to see, like, because I mean they've kind of like broken up. They've all like split up and gone like their own ways for the most part. But like it's just seeing where like everybody landed in that group, yo. You know what I'm saying? Even Jasper's on. He's been in the last 2 or 3 Jackass movies. You know what I'm saying? Like with him and his pops, like they be doing all that wild shit. And so it's like they really like. You saw it early on that they were gonna be something. Even if you didn't know what it was, you knew that some of these people were gonna end up being something. I mean, like most of them are still rapping today. Like, and they all got careers. Like I keep up with most of what they got going on. Some rap more than others, or some are into creative ventures more than others. But like, yo, like you saw it like when they started making their debut around the music industry.
Y'all were raised to like love Wu-Tang.
Word.
So it was like y'all got y'all version.
That's yes,
you know,
and even down to them being managed by fucking Steve Rifkin, who got them their label contract for loud music and shit. So
cool.
Yep.
No, I mean for me, what you say turned you off, like pause, that turned me on. Like the weirdo shit. Yeah, so like this is the middle of college for me. Like when I got like really put on to them, and like most people don't realize that about me. Like I definitely have 1,000% like a weirdo side.
Got you.
100, but it's like cool. I may not expose it through fashion or mental, but like when you just sit and chop and be like, oh, this nigga's a high key like weirdo. He's like a cool functioning weirdo. Like
nah, but I think that makes sense, because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of like, I think, like, I don't know, like, it's weird to describe. Like, you know, because, like, you've been around me forever. But, like, it's like, there's a lot of stuff I have appreciation for, but there's stuff that I just be like, oh, nah, that's strange. I'm cool.
Word. Yeah. Nah, and it's funny, too. With this album, shout out to my guy, Calvin. I remember, again, 2010, 2011, when Odd Future started really coming around. I remember me and Katsky trying to put not just like Calvin on, but we trying to put a lot of people onto Odd Future, like just to try to be like, yo, like there's hip hop in here somewhere. And early on, maybe kind of like you even like, yo, I remember guys like Calvin being like, yo, I don't really fuck with none of that. But then I bring up the album because he still checks in with me like, yo, what's some new music that dropped? And I'm like, yo, the Tyler shit dropped. But I was like, yo, I don't know if you fuck with that. He's like, no, actually, he's like, I fuck with Tyler. He's like, I actually listen to a lot of Tyler's music like now. You know what I'm saying? So like as he's progressed with his music, yo, he's garnered like maybe people that weren't fans at the beginning. He's garnered their fandom now, yo.
I think I need to go back and listen because I think as the antics faded, I could hear the music more.
Yeah.
Got you.
Around Flower Boy, I would say is probably where he started to make that pivot to more mature music. I mean, the music has only gotten like more like deeper and more introspective, even though it's kind of always been there. Like you can look at, because this is what, his 8th album, 9th album, some shit like that. Yeah. You can kind of look at his story, because I know we're gonna eventually get into like the themes of the album and shit, but like you can really break down like his story in like 2 and 3 album like blocks, yo. Like the early on shit, like the Bastard, Goblin to Wolf, that's that late teens, early 20s angst, that fucking, you know, rebelling against the system, you know what I'm saying? And yo, to me, like my favorite album by him is Wolf, yo. And I don't know what it is. It could be the timing, it could just be what that album represented at the time for me. Like it shit just resonated, yo. And like the concept, you really started to see him as an artist, but then immediately after that, that's when Flower Boys came in, and that's when he started to get a little bit more vulnerable with his music. And it started to become less radical and more into like deeper storytelling and more introspective. And it's just like, yo, and just like it's like you could like, it's like a good like movie like series, you know what I'm saying? Like a franchise, yo. It's like, yo, he's on his 8th album, and it's like all the albums go into the next one, like almost seamlessly. He's got a new character with every fucking album.
Like he's in the middle of creating a great box set.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. Yeah, and
although I don't know how he jumped from, what's the name of the last project with Drama?
Call Me If You Get Lost.
Yeah, like to hear that one and then to go to this one, I have an appreciation for both. But I don't know. I didn't see the seamless transition. Like I did not expect this.
Yeah,
on this project.
Me neither.
I love it, but I didn't expect it.
I mean, for me, it picks up where one of like my favorite songs off of
probably Igor.
Was that Igor?
The pink cover.
Yeah, with Earthquake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Igor's fire. Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, like him incorporating melody is gonna like catch me for the R&B fan that I am. Like it's definitely gonna catch me, but it's like the way he uses that, like people that I'm a fan of utilize melody and rap simultaneously. And when I found out he was one of those, it made me like be more of a fan of him. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like I mean, but like for us to try to get to the album, like heavy Pharrell influence. I could hear it all.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The Neptune's chords, like literally, even producer, knowing that they produce their own shit. And at that time, I'm discovering myself, we're discovering ourselves as producers. And a lot of our early beats, like we would go to fucking beat competitions and we would get those comparisons like, yo, y'all shit sounds like dirty like that new Odd Future shit that's around. Right. And it's just like, yo, you can hear it even when like dudes had like garbage equipment creating their music. It was like, yo, the influence was still there. And that's another reason why I gravitated towards them. Me and Cassie gravitated towards them. It was just like, yo, this was the newest shit on the street. Whether the sound was relatable or not, it was just like, yo, these guys were gonna be something. They're gonna go somewhere. Like, yeah, man, heavy.
Definitely Sun in the Water. Whatever.
Hey, shout out to VA, man. Like, you know 2 up, 2 down. Spent a lot of time there too. 12 years, man.
Sure. Man. Like, oh man, like I mean, like you could hear Pharrell on there, like to the point that you would think, like, yo, did they get a production credit?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like some of the influence was just so crazy. But like it was, man, oh my God.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man. Like I got favorite songs.
Nah, let's get get into it. Yeah.
I got songs I got a favorite verse on there.
So what was your interpretation of the album? If we got, similarities. What do you think about the character? So I'm guessing the name is going to be Saint Chroma.
There's parts that I don't think of. Like, I don't think of the character.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think of him with the mask and with the hair spiked up. Like, I don't think about it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be overly deep and act like I came up with a
theory or anything. Yeah.
Some people did.
Yeah.
I will love to see how he ties that in on tour, because I know he will.
Yeah.
So the visuals
are always
going to be fire.
Yeah, his art direction. I've seen him in concert twice. His art direction is incredible. Like on stage, like he's one of those artists that really.
Yeah, he one of them was.
Yeah, like the music is one thing, but the visual representation always goes with the album. Yeah, for sure.
I liked I mean, I sent it to you when I was like, it was kind of like tinfoil hat-ish a little bit. When the guy had a theory, and he was talking about like the definition of like, I think it was chromophobia or something like that. And like, basically like, that's like more like a person not stepping into the colors. And like, you know, when I think of his journey, even with the sexuality or whatever the case may be, and just like, I hate to say it, but even me being a person that was like not a fan of him being eccentric, to know how much that was a part of him. Like, and hear his mom.
Yeah.
And hear his mom.
And like, that's really his mom too, which is,
pushing him to be his full self and to never hold back any part of his character. I'm just like, oh, like if this is like, you know, to show all the colors of yourself or whatever the case may be, I'm like, that's really cool. Yeah. That, like, you know what I mean? Like he's fully embracing it. I mean, this is like the adult version of it in comparison to like what comes off as angst. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, dealing with kids or whatever, like, you know, like, just like, they're like, oh, no, I'm trying to express myself. And it's like, are you bugging the fuck out? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
See, that would be his first three albums.
Beginning. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where now it's like, okay, like, I'm not trying to be heard, but I'm going to be fully me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whereas before, like, you know, there's like a lot of angst or acting out when people just name it under individuality. But it's more like, oh, no, now he's just, he is the individual. He is himself. That's how it sounded.
Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe that I definitely got from Chromakopia, because from Wolf to Flower Boy, I would say Wolf would be like him giving up a lot of the childish shit. Flower Boy, him stepping into, like, him just discovering himself. So, because that's the one where he started to really come out as bisexual and everything. Igor falling in love for the first time, but falling in love with a dude for the first time.
And
I think
all
that, If You Get Lost, falling in love with his best friend's girl. Like, it's a whole
because to me, like,
discovery.
When I listen to it, like okay, like, so when you talk about like the early 20s, late teens angst and all those things, and then like there was some angst when he went on that journey with the sexuality.
Yeah,
that's where you get like the Flex freestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the Gerard Carmichael admitting he loves his shit. Yeah,
he has the trolling energy in him. He's a showman, whatever the case may be. So he'll play things up. And I think like the way he was seamlessly making social commentary on this album about all of it. Yeah. And just like, yo, like, it was like a person that's just like, oh, like, that's his business. But it wasn't like
just my life. Here we go.
Like he wasn't trying to like you know, like I love the like, don't give a fuck about pronouns. I'm that nigga
and that bitch. Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's a really clever way to like be inclusive.
Yo, and even as a straight man, I found myself repeating that line. I was like, that's cool. But it's fire. But
it just hits. It's effective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, okay, like, I hate to say it, but it's like, think about people that are, for lack of better words, quote unquote, cavemen. Like they'd be off put by the verse.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just because of that line.
Right. And
then you like, nah, it's probably like it doesn't hit you in the same way where you're like, I'm that bitch. But you're like, I do care about my outfit.
Yeah, fast.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
like,
could,
cool.
I am putting lotion on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
good lotion.
Like, you know what I mean? Like all that. Like, I care about these things. Yeah. So like, okay,
I care about my skin, hair, nails, all that.
That's the nuance.
Skincare regimens now.
Mr. Self-care, nigga. Come on.
Like, you already know.
Come on, son.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always said it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got long hair. You got long hair. You know what I mean? Like, you be like, yo, I gotta hit the barber and hit the salon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get right, yo.
Gotta have one today. I need that retwist.
Right.
But yeah, man, I just like so I think like that's like for him to be so talented and so clever, that's a way that he can like speak to people in a way that everyone can't. Like that's where the genius is to me. You know what I mean? Like,
so when the album dropped, I think I hit the group chat with you and Cassie maybe like a day after it had dropped, because I didn't realize it actually came out on like Monday
morning.
Yep. I thought it was coming out on Tuesday morning. Yep. So I had 24 hours had passed, the album was out. I remember just sitting down and listening to it. My first initial reaction, because it's funny that you brought up, like, we're talking about kind of like bringing in like, everything from his past into this album. Yo, I said that this felt like his Dark Twisted Fantasy. And before I even got into like looking up like who's on the album, yo, when you pull up like just the features and who's on here for not only just features, but like just the background vocals, because like how I feel, and I think a lot of people feel about Dark Twisted Fantasy, that encompassed all of Kanye's sounds up until that point, and he fucking pulled into one album. But then also Kanye was, I don't know, I think there's an interview out there, or maybe somebody did a breakdown somewhere on one of these YouTube pages, but they said something about Kanye using vocals as instruments, especially on that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, the full version of Runaway is 9 minutes long, and he's crooning for 3 minutes of it, and it sounds like a guitar and all this other shit. But like, just all the people that are featured on that album, I mean, I don't know how many people are featured on all the Light Show that encompass the chorus, but like, yo, you got Daniel Caesar, Tizo Touchdown, Glorilla, Lil Wayne, Sexy Red, LaToya Williams, Schoolboy, Santa Gold, Playboy Cardi, Doshi,
Gambino.
Facts. His mom, Gambino. I don't know if that's Willow Smith, but she's on there. Yep. We said Donald Glover. Like, bro, Thundercat, Steve Lacy, Solange. Like, the list is crazy, bro. It's insane. And then
Baby Keem.
Baby Keem.
for that's probably the only feature you really don't need. No disrespect.
Facts.
Because it was like you just like made a noise.
It was like a,
and I was like,
like a sigh.
He the only one that can do it that way. I don't.
Yo, that shit had me dying, yo. But it was just like, all right, yo, he's bringing in all this like vocal talent while also combining, again, a lot of the shit that we heard. So he's got a lot of those soft melodies and piano work and synthesizer work that we heard from Flower Boy all the way through Igor. Some of the rap stuff in here, like the more bar heavy shit, I think, is a lot of the call and response records that might be for good reason. It might, probably fits with the themes of the album. But I wasn't really listening to this for the bars, because between Flower Boy and Igor, I liked a lot more of the melodic shit that he gets into. You know what I'm saying? Like the rap stuff on here serves its purpose, but I'm in there for the songs like, Judge Judy and
which is more storytelling.
Yes, the storytelling joints. Lyrical. Yeah. Right. You know honestly, what I'm saying?
I felt like the tracks that are more bar heavy, it almost felt like shit that was kind of lingering from the Drama Project.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's not that I feel that Tyler's that guy, because I feel like he spends a lot of time, and everything is very super duper intentional. Like, even looking at the long list of features, you know what I mean? Like, that has to be super duper intentional. Like, because the budget just for that alone has got to be fucking ridiculous.
100%.
Especially in a world where there's no
marketing
on and all of that anymore.
30 seconds.
Like, facts. But then that just goes to show how many artists want to work with him now.
Word.
Yeah. Like, Tyler is like really put a name out there for himself, where in his world for like this generation, yo, he's up there.
Yeah.
Like,
and look at his influences, yo. It's like Pharrell, Kanye. And you know what I'm saying? We see Kanye do this with his last however many albums, probably from like Life of Pablo till now. They've been more compilation-y. You know what I'm saying? Again, Dark Twisted Fantasy, he's bringing in people like just like this, yo. Like, yo, let me get you for the, I just need you to sing this one part right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, people saying it was a travesty having Chris Brown come in on Vultures 1, and they distorted his voice and shit like that. But it's like, nah, you're an instrument, bro. Like, we're using you.
I'm not here for your, like,
you're
Chris
not
Brown
the main.
sound.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Thought it was dope. Bless.
Yeah. Got it. When you shout out Chris Brown, thinking about Kanye, I got to think about the song Waves too.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Like, I'm not the biggest Chris Brown guy, but like, there's the moments like Waves where I'm like, all right.
Got to give it up.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely one of my favorite joints off of Pablo, for sure. You know what I mean?
What would y'all say is your favorite song on this project?
Oh, let me see. We got the track list right here.
To me, he definitely has. There's different. It depends on the mood.
Yeah, like I'm big on the Darling I, Hey Jane, I Killed You, Judge Judy part of the album. Okay. And honestly, up until Take Your Mask Off, that's a lot of my favorite shit.
So that's like the first.
So it's
half
Take Your Mask Off.
That's like the middle, like that middle half.
Oh, it's in there.
Yeah. Take Your Mask Off is in there for me. Yeah. So from track 4 to 9, so that middle of the album, that's my favorite part of the album. Yeah, for sure. But like, if I had to pick one song, it's probably Take Your Mask Off, yo. Yeah, I think so. I'm the same. That shit was kind of.
If there's one song you got to take regardless.
Yeah, Take Your Mask Off. Word.
I feel like he's like masterfully like blended that balance of being like so out there, and my bars are gonna be crazy. Like, you talking about a pastor fucking little boys, and that's where his money's coming from, and all in a song, but you didn't make it feel.
And he's talking about the down low element,
Facts.
all that, like, you know what I mean, like, which like gives to, I hate to say it, but lends to his own personal struggles, and like people dealing with acceptance, which to me dealt
even
with
men that he's dealing with. Maybe it's not even him that he's talking. Maybe he's talking about other dudes that.
And I was saying past him.
Oh, okay.
Not currently, but like. Definitely, like, to me, like, it spoke to the overall theme of the album. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but that's where I'll get kind of like tie in the character.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, okay, like, you're saying take the mask off. You have all these people in the masks, and they're going into the to the thing, and then you blow the thing up, and all, you know what I mean? Like, they're going, like, it's like, oh, like, yeah, like, you know, people are living in like hiding.
Yeah.
And it's like that song is communicating that, and it's like. That song is really deep, but even when you get to the part about the woman, like that's like those were very poignant bars, like, because I mean, like,
can't hide from them. Them joints is jabs. They stick.
I mean, and the thing is, how does one? I don't even know. You know, there's a lot of sacrifices people make to make their family work,
right?
Men as well as women. But I mean, the way he described it, like, you know, like, it was like, yo, like, she just wanted to be herself. And like, she lost her identity in this life that she created. Like she basically traded in her last name to be somebody's wife. She traded in her first name for mom. And it was just like, yikes. You know what I mean? Like, you had to take a step back and be like, wow.
Yeah, seeing that perspective for a woman.
Like, and like the themes of the album, man. It's like it's his mom, like, yo, she's giving him all this advice, but then by the time you get to the end of the album where she says, like, yo, I fucked up with your pops, because that's another big thing about all his albums, yo. It's him, yo. There's so much like, yo, my dad wasn't around.
Yeah, there's a lot of
in a lot of his music, yo. Like, I get, yo, back from Bastard to Goblin was probably his most violent, and like, you could tell, like, yo, like, my dad, a lot of hurt with that shit, and his mom this is album number 8, and you're finally hearing, like, yo, again, like, yo, your pops wasn't around. So all that shit we heard for 3-4 albums, like, my dad's a dick, you know, almost on some Eminem shit, tell him fucking, I cut his throat when I see him, all that type of shit, yo. It's like, oh, nah, mom's was really the one that really, like, ran him off. She wanted to, like, I don't know, I don't want to just, I ain't trying to shit on her, but, like, she probably wanted to, like, live a life, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, mama gotta have a life too type of vibe, yo.
And I don't, like, to me, it was more like, was there some hurt there? Like, you know what I mean? Like
on whose end?
Like
on her end?
Yeah, like he didn't want you. Mm-hmm. Like he didn't want you, so you held that back. Like, yo, you can't. Like she said, he always wanted to try to be a father.
Yeah.
So it's like, what was he not doing?
Yeah.
Like what, you know what I mean? Because I think, I hate to say it, but like I don't think that statement comes across that way if he was a bad person. Mm-hmm. She said he was a good guy. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he was a bad person, then no one's gonna fault a mom for keeping their child away. Because that's safety. And safety trumps everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'd love for you to get a chance to be in a relationship with your dad, but he's a serial killer. And like, you know what I mean? Like, and he might kidnap you, and I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gonna get your weekend, then I'll never see you again. Like, this is very risky. I'm sorry, bro. You don't get to know him. Mm-hmm. Like, I messed with him before he was like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to mom for taking that accountability, yo. When's the last time you heard a woman say that, yo, I fucked this up?
Yeah,
it's very rare.
Shit, 20-something years later is kind of crazy.
I hear you. Mm-hmm. I want to give credit for the accountability, but do you really get to do something to me? And I'm not saying it was like her intention, because at the end of the day, heartbreak is tough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like how, like to me, I'm the person that like is like the biggest proponent of like giving full credit to relationships prior that created children. Like most of them, I'm not saying that they like all the kids were planned or whatever, but you have to give credit to the fact that like they looked at themselves and was like, wow, we're bringing a child into the world. Mm-hmm. We're going to have grandkids. We're going to be on a rocking chair on a porch. We're going to see them bring like I feel like every couple at least thought about it like in the long haul sort of sense.
The ideal couples? Are we talking about the ones that are planned?
I'm like not even planned. Not planned, but just like not one night stand. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're in a relationship, you're dealing with each other.
Oh, yeah. And then,
like,
yeah.
Oh, no, I know a lot that's just, yo, this baby on the way, nigga. I don't even really... I don't know about no rocking chairs.
No, but I'm just saying like I feel like, I just feel like people act as if all kids are either like super planned or super
so there's
not.
Like no in
like, you know what I mean? Like, like so what Ayla I'm saying is like
Ayla was definitely super planned. Yeah,
you still super planned.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is like
shout out to my baby.
You know, shout out to yo, his daughter stole his face. Like it's crazy. But like, yo, it's like to me, it's so weird when I think about that. I'm just like, dang, yo, I feel bad for her heartbreak, but I have to give her credit for like, yo, like your son's sturdy. Like you don't get to just be like, yo, it wasn't his fault. Forgive me, but don't be mad at him. Like, my nigga, I've been mad for 3 decades.
Yeah.
You don't get to just say now, forgive you. Like, you're going to have at least 6 months of me being like, yo, really, my nigga?
No, absolutely.
Like, but that's where she was. Like, that's why I'm like, I can't really give her full credit of the accountability.
But maybe she was willing to accept that. Maybe they went through a time of because I don't fuck with you for that, mom. Like that's wild,
crazy. Like that's a robbery.
Absolutely, that he can never get back.
We've had to see we've seen him for 7 albums essentially struggle with his identity. He don't know who he is, yo. Like, yo, bro, when I went from 29 to 30, I don't know what it was. Maybe y'all have this same experience, but like in my mind, mentally was like trying to approach life a little bit differently. Yeah, I went from just losing to my mom to becoming a father within like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Huge transition in my life. I went from not wanting kids most of my life into finding a partner that changed my mind on wanting to have kids. And then when we did, we planned it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, which was a blessing and everything like that. But it's like, yo, I can also identify with that, like, yo, like, maybe it's either entering a new chapter as a new person or trying to figure out why you are the way you are, which I also dealt with a little bit of that too, yo. Like, my 30s, like, honestly, it's not even just me. I'm not psychoanalyzing motherfuckers, yo. I just like to people watch, yo, on the timeline. And it's a lot of people that are entering into their 30s that are struggling with identity in some way. And it's like, yo, I can self-reflect with this album probably more than any other Tyler album, because I feel like I mean, he talks about, you know, whether it's a pregnancy scare, whether it's just storytelling or not, but like him just entering his 30s thinking about fatherhood. It's fucking, that shit's made. This is a lot of major life shit going on this album, bro.
But that's exactly why I said before we started, I was like, yo, I was like, this ain't gonna be like a typical music review.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stories that are a lot of
man conversations.
Like, that's why I was like, once we start talking about this album, we're gonna talk. I was like, we're not just gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, typically, let you know, bro. Like, yo, I think every musical review we've done thus far has been 30 minutes.
Yeah,
not on purpose.
Not this year.
But we
surpassed that.
This is gonna be like it's the length of a movie review, and that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, it's so interesting because like you see how the conversation quickly weaves to another song. Like that brings us to Hey Jane.
Yeah,
but that also brings us to what is that? Is that Tomorrow?
I think so. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I believe, is when he's talking about his mom's the black strands are turning gray.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so like you know, like, in not to get too personal, bro, but you just talked about like, you know, going from your mom passing to your daughter being born. So your daughter didn't get to meet your mom.
It's a fact.
And like, you know, yourself, you don't have biological children, am I correct?
No, hell no, none. Hell no. Don't wish that on me. Not yet.
Fucking kid.
But I don't have biological children at this point either. And I'm saying, like, in that song, the theme was about his mom just wanting a grandchild. And I was like, I gotta ask you guys, like, you know, do you wish you had it sooner?
So that and it's funny because my mom used to make jabs at me and shit. She'd be like, yo, you know, and you know, my mom was awesome because like she would say it, but like my mom never pressured me to do like anything. You know what I'm saying? It was always kind of like, you know, yo, if you think that this is what's best for you, I'm a invest in you, and I'm a fucking trust that you can take your own life into your own destiny, into your own hands and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So. I understand it, yo.
And I mean, like, you know trust me, with my parents, like, yo,
because
like
my daughter picks up pictures of my. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I got pictures of my mom at the crib. Yeah. So when I got my daughter and she's playing around, you know, she'll hold the pictures of my mom, and you know, I remember her asking me, you know, who's this? And I'm like, yo, this is your grandmother. You know, that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hits you a little bit, but like, that's real. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's, you know, you think about it, but like, you know, it's life, yo. So
because your pressure is probably a little different than mine because you have siblings.
Yeah, so at least
so
my
your
brother,
siblings kind of scratch that itch for them.
Yeah, they got one, and I got a younger sister. So my parents they adopted when I was in college. So my little sister now is 35, so she's 11.
Yeah.
So they've had her since 4 days old. So they
100%.
They feel like grandma, grandpa now. So
but I'm an only child.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that pressure. Yo, you probably got a text right now talking about
and you haven't yet. And you know, to be completely transparent, like, I mean, I've been in 2 different 5-year relationships where there were like the young ladies had children, and I was a good bonus dad. But when those relationships end, you know,
what happens with that relationship?
The relationship with the kids.
It gets tough and strained, and unfortunately, like, distance creates itself. So they haven't been able to build the bonds to the level they'd like to completely with a grandchild.
Right.
And like, you know, when I hear the song, I feel very like, dang, you know, my dad is like all salt and pepper now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, like my dad's an old man now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my parents are in their 60s. And I'm like, dang, yo, have I robbed them of an opportunity? You know what I mean? Like, it makes you and it makes you think of that. And I mean, like, you know, that there is never a perfect time, but it does make you think of it. And I mean, like, is it right for you to sacrifice whatever you consider your plan to be for them? You know, it's just
it's way, shit that makes you think.
Thought provoking. Shout out to the song.
I got like a whole theory on that. I ain't even gonna get into it.
Go ahead.
Ironically, I think having, not for everyone, but majority, I think a lot of people have had children for extremely selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Like they want someone to love. They want someone to expect something from. So it's all about you and it's never about the child. So
get a dog.
Like, you're here. I'm
get a dog. Get a dog.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to wag his tail, like, do something for the wag his tail. Now this kid is here with his own life experiences.
Yep.
And you expecting something from it. Like, oh, have a grandkid. Fam, what I've seen and what I've been through, I don't want it. So now how are you holding that expectation for somebody else? But, yeah, man,
Yeah. A lot more than the music combo.
It's a lot. But that's why we do this pod, man. That's why we do this pod, yo.
So to lighten his I mean, no, we can go before the child exists. Hey Jane.
Yeah. Which is also the name of a fucking abortion pill website.
Yes.
Yo, I love the genius in that. Like everything extremely strategic.
100%.
But to hit both angles on the pregnancy scare of the guy's point of view and the woman's point of view on the abortion. Oh my God.
I'd love to hear if some women thought he did a good job speaking for women.
Word.
Because I think he did a great job, but I'm just a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no shade to us, is just a bunch of men on the couch today. But just like there were like he made me think of the thought process of the women characters that he spoke for. Like when we go back to speaking on Take That Mask Off, and when we talk about Hey Jane, like I was like, I understand, like, you know what I mean? Like he alluded to like, yo, like she terminated a pregnancy earlier. And like, what if this is her last time? Referencing to the biological clock. And like, yo, maybe I shouldn't, like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be thinking negatively or thinking about like ending this life before it becomes one. And then she's basically like, in the same token, in the same breath, it's like, yo, you just hope I get my period again.
Right.
Like, you're not even worried. And he's, you know, like I felt like he did a great job, like, you know, speaking to that character.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, I don't need you to buy nothing. Like, yo, like I don't need your status. I don't need your money. Like, I could go back to London and be chilling. Like, you know what I mean? Like he showed that she was older than him. Like, you know, like I could hear it all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not no deep dive. Like, it's right there.
Right.
Listen to the song. Like, I was like, this is great storytelling.
Nah, absolutely. That's why I feel like, of course, we can't speak for women, but anytime a moment like that makes us take a step back and like, oh shit, like damn, hold on, like it wasn't the typical like, oh nigga, what was the J. Cole song where he's doing the same conversation and the chick is basically like, oh, you know, fuck you, I'm at his baby with or without you. Like it was the typical, okay, I'm dealing with chick from round the way, got her pregnant. Here we are.
And the storytelling was so strong that like he didn't have to do any voice inflections.
Absolutely zero.
His voice stayed the same.
Yeah.
Zero.
And like it put you into the character.
Yeah, and I heard her voice.
Yeah.
Somehow through Tyler's deep ass voice, I heard her voice.
Exactly.
And it impacted me. Like I remember I was ironing when I first heard it. I was like,
yeah, kind of make you stop real quick.
Hold on, fam. What?
Yeah.
Hold on, run that back. Like, yo, it's 6 a.m. I'm getting ready for work at the school, and I'm like, hold on, son. My neighbor about to be mad. I'm turning the speaker up. Like he was talking some shit.
Nah, for sure. Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like you know, we're talking about like his previous albums and how everything like connects and everything. So it like Call Me If You Get Lost. It was like I remember him saying like before the album dropped, you know, y'all want to do a drama tape. You know, that's always been like a passion of his. And he's like flexing a lot. It's probably like 70-30 rap to like melodic stuff on that album. Yeah. And like we alluded to some of the more rap songs on here, serving a purpose. And I think the braggadocious like themes were in most of like the more rap songs on here. But even then, some of the more rap shit was like the beats were the more basic beats
of course
on here. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a lot of those like it's more like just percussion based with a couple like sample hits. Like they sampled the Young Buck joint on the Sticky record. But then it goes off into like some orchestral shit, which brings in that dark twisted fantasy element, yo, where they just go off, yo, where it's like from the sample choices to the interpolation into the instrumentation, it was just like him and his like engineers, they fucking went on a journey.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but yo, give that rundown again. Yo, you just gave some real Joe Clark vocabulary, my nigga.
Yeah. So it's like maybe I'm bugging, but I feel like on this album, it's got he sampled the most for this album. So it's like you've got some songs that'll take like a piece of a sample and then like he'll interpolate like a melody from the original sample or some lines or something like that, and then him and his production team, like they'll take that. It's like a sample. It's like in sample inception or like sample squared or cube deal, where it's like we got the sample, then we got the interpolation, then we got our own interpretation with live instrumentation of those samples, and it just he takes you on a musical journey. Well. Yeah, like it's
like if something was replayed on top of like what the sample was, on top of like how they flipped the lyrics.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes, like it just
I just liked how you eloquently.
Word. Appreciate that, my brother.
Nah, definitely.
Man, I mean, but you referenced Sticky. I mean, like
it's a fun record, yo.
Love-hate relationship with the song.
With the song? Yeah.
Well, Sticky, that's a joint with Sexy Red.
Glow, Sexy, Wayne.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. Pause, yo. I put that shit on. I was in the whip. I had to roll my windows up. I was like, I'm acting like a whole bad like sure. Right now. I need to relax.
Yo, man. I mean, it's not a bad great, but I mean,
it's definitely an outside record.
Everybody could have had an 8.
Yeah.
Everybody could have had 8 bars instead of 4. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
It sucks. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those weird things where you just want more of the record. That's all. Like, it's not. Yeah. But I
want to know, like,
I understand why.
How it fits into the album. Because, like, again, most of the records are so dense with, like, the storytelling. Like, this one is kind of like a flex. Almost, you know, it's a call and response record. And, you know, and when you're playing with, like the brass like that, it's given fucking... You know, football, Saturday college football, fucking band shit.
Yo, that's
marching band shit, yo.
That shit was it.
Like, you know, a couple, you know, we're not like us, kind of went crazy. Easily. You know, he alludes to him being the second hottest thing out of LA next to K Dot and all that shit. So, yeah, I can see that going up, yo.
I ain't mad at him with that.
He got 2 on this record alone. I mean, on this album alone, that could be added to like a band's playlist.
Word.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that and what is Thought I Was Dead?
Thought I Was Dead. Yeah. Yep.
Like yo, I can hear Thought I Was Dead like on like a like when they play like I didn't go to HBCU, so in my head I'm thinking
it's almost like you like honorary though.
Drumline.
I'm thinking drumline and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm thinking movies, but like okay, like the Thought I Was Dead, I could hear it if like they're like songs they would play on the sideline. Like for a comeback.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it would be like it would just
that
make
would
sense.
actually slap.
Yeah. Like, you know,
that would actually slap.
Like it make like you know what I mean? Like I'll email that to somebody.
Yeah,
like,
somebody band director
free.
need to add that.
That's
hold
free.
that.
Like you know what I mean? Like that idea makes sense. I got you.
Word.
YPW on. You know what I'm saying? But like like for sure, bro. I just that's all. Like I mean like Glorilla came in the record aggressively, and I was like, dang, her voice sounds great.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're like enjoying what she's saying, she's done.
She's out of there. Yeah.
I think that's what I enjoyed most because I think too much of her. Now I'm disengaged. Like, you kept me at a high with her. Like, oh shit, nigga, I actually want to hear more Glow.
And then
and coming off her album too.
I watched a review and somebody said it was like, the reason the verses were so short and were 4 bars was because it was meant to be like a chant.
Yeah, like it felt so like we've seen cheerleaders. They do call and response shit like that, yo. You know what I'm saying? My name is it gave me that type of vibe,
like the roll call joint,
roll call shit. Yeah. There you go.
So the only person, even if I'm gonna have my gripe and I'm gonna be stubborn with my gripe, when the beat changes, let Lil Wayne go off. Like move his part to the part where the beat changes over to Pharrell beat and let him get an 8 because he's that rapper.
Yeah.
And if you keep them at the 4, we're doing call and response. And then maybe we move the "it's getting sticky" in this bitch to the front. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? And we keep all the chant energy.
Have you heard their other 2 collabs? So you got the Hot Wind Blows joint off of Call Me If You Get Lost, and then they got a record on Cherry Bomb, which is another album that I forgot to mention.
Oh, I love Cherry Bomb. That was a fire
joint with it's Wayne, Kanye, and Tyler. I forget the name of that record though.
Oh man, that shit.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but that shit, like both of those records, like I'm with you on give Wayne.
I mean, he's a rapper,
little bit of a runway. Yeah.
So like I hate to say it, but like maybe I don't need 8 bars for the Glorilla. Maybe I don't need 8 bars from Sexy Red.
But
like, you know what I mean? But
Wayne could have got a 12.
Like let me get Wayne on a 12.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know
at least. You know what I'm saying? You could fade it out. Just, you know what I'm saying? Make it sound like he got more bars. I love shit like that. Yeah.
I would have been. We create a happy medium.
The director's cut of the album, Wayne probably did go off. Smuckers. Yeah.
And there's only so many things. Like, I don't have a lot of gripes. So I mean, when you're looking for something to be critical about, that's probably like my thing to be critical about. And like my favorite verse, and I don't know if Wayne would have had my favorite verse or not on the album, because I'm saying if he was given an opportunity to completely rap more.
I'm a Wayne hater, so I'm very
okay. I'm not big on Wayne, but I ain't mad at you. Do your thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause as soon as they start comparing him to Hov, we got
it's a rap. It's a rap. Change the conversation to me.
Yeah.
But
Carter versus Carter.
Schoolboy Q's verse is my standout verse on the whole.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, Schoolboy floats on shit like that.
Yes,
like those like just weird pockets.
Yes,
just weird sounds. Like he gets off on shit like that, because I'm a huge Schoolboy fan. I mean, we did Blue Lips.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Still got Blue Lips up there is one of my favorite albums this year, especially for the rap category. But like,
you know what? I haven't spun the block on that, and now that you reminded me, I'm like, I loved the album when it dropped.
Spin that.
And now I just feel like maybe it's just because we're like so oversaturated with content all the time. Like I just be forgetting.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna listen to this more than that.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's ill.
I hate to say it.
Nah, that's
you know what I think is another component of it is the fact that he brought back the nostalgia. Granted, it wasn't a Tuesday, but dropping early in the week on a Monday. I think that may have been it. It gave me all week. Like all week to sit with it.
Sidebar, I mean, this week in general, or that last week was crazy for fucking music releases.
I couldn't get to everything that you told me, like that came out, because I was just like, it was too much music.
Lot.
Who else were you checking out last week?
So you had Tyler Set It Off on Monday.
Yep.
And then that Thursday,
Freddie Gibbs,
Westside dropped the EP, and then on Friday, Westside dropped the full album. Gibbs dropped the fucking album. I'm missing somebody. My guy, I don't know, dropped the album. I'm missing somebody. Conductor Williams dropped a fucking compilation.
I only listen to the song.
But you know what though? With Leon and. I don't know if you've seen I posted some footage of them recording that on my story. This nigga just sipping wine and just hopped in the booth and did what he did on that record. But, I digress, but it's a lot of fire music there. Oh, yeah, Banks dropped on Halloween. He dropped the Halloween Havoc 5 joint.
I meant to go listen. Thank you for reminding me.
Crazy week for music. Much, man. Yeah, because that Gibbs shit.
Gibbs shit tough.
Cats go weeks without dropping music, then everybody
drop on the same day. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was dope because you had Tyler, who out of all of those names, he's up there. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's one of the top 10 acts probably in just hip hop to drop music. So it's like you had him Set It Off. So, not to just label it like artsy fartsy, but you had the more dense, artistic, he's coming with the visuals for damn near every record. So you got to digest that for 2, 3, 4 days. And then, selfish, but all my hip hop guys, even fucking Denzel Curry dropped a fire album that's all 3 6 Mafia inspired shit.
Yo, I haven't listened to Denzel
You know what I'm
Curry
saying?
in a long
and this shit is all Memphis, early mid 90s Memphis, like fucking club music.
I was just listening to 3 6 about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Ill shit on there. I mean, he fucking interpolates Hard in the Paint. He got an ill record with So there's so much music to fucking get to, yo. It's insane, bro. It's insane. Yeah, I want to see more Monday, Tuesday drops, bro.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let me sit with it. Let me come on from work. Let me be in the kitchen.
I don't feel like I gotta rush to listen to shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You only got the weekend. Plus, I'm doing shit. I'm active. Right. Shorty want to go out. I'm doing laundry, grocery shopping. I don't got time, man.
Facts.
I just don't. Yeah. Like niggas is old.
Don't got time.
Niggas is old. Now I be watching my shows. Like,
nah,
I ain't got time.
Sure. And I do think that the album is awesome. Great. Like I think it's
impeccable.
While he's been technically releasing more mature music, like you could tell that Tyler is finally like whatever transitions I feel like as a fan he may have been going through in his other albums. I think this was the real landmark in his not only his career but in his life. Like he's ready for I don't want to say grown man raps. Because for him it's always gonna look a little bit different, but like he's ready for more life. I think. I mean, with this album,
I think he showed where his talent can go, and how his talent can age.
Word.
Because he just like had very simple, and you know me, I always tell you like I'm a fan of simple as opposed to like very complex. Like you know, I'm big on clever, as opposed to complex.
Marvin Gaye,
you know what I'm saying? So when he speaks to his gray hair, it's like that's a very non-lyrical statement that just speaks to him growing up.
Yeah.
So like you know what I mean? Like before, I'm just looking at that interview that he had a few months ago, and I'm like, wow, the nerve of you to be talking about young people. I'm like, you was that.
Word.
But like you know when he speaks to his maturity and how he's dealing with things and like you know what I mean, like he's talking about like just like like you know regular stuff that we deal with, like you know like oh man I'm tired, like the thought of a kid makes me stressed, like you know what I mean, like just like and like just like the way that he was like picking up very small moments in adulthood that speak to this stage of our lives. I was like like he's. It's kind of like how when and I'm not saying he's that person, but like when Andre 3K was talking about like feeling the itch from a prick of a blade of grass, and it's just like only he can do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, like this is how Tyler's gonna communicate the experience of your 30s. Like I was like, okay, I got it. I'm rolling.
Yeah, I love that he like forced us into his world. Like it's super duper relatable in our world, but here I'm melodically you are gonna come into my world,
and he still gave us that. Hate to say it, but he still did give us that nigga shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because he definitely like trust me, there's gonna be a lot of people that can't afford a Hellcat talk about the Hellcat is too cheap.
Yeah, I'm not driving that shit. You know, listen, man, I was mad. I think I just hit a pothole. I think it was yesterday, and I'm a fucking wheel screeching, and I hear that bar, and I'm like, nigga, I'm over here mad thinking about this $1,000 I'm about to spend on my wheel, and the Hellcat too cheap.
And he talking, he was talking crazy. I mean, I'm Paranoid. Before we go, Paranoid was dope.
Yeah, I love it, yo, because it's like
I like Noid a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like in that record, you feel it's. Yeah, man. What's the record before it? Because they both flow into each other. Yeah, they flow into each other so perfect.
Nah, they do. When I first heard the album, I thought it was one record.
Yeah, nigga, and the way that
great transitions.
Shout out to the engineers, man, because.
And he embodied what I'm sure a lot of these artists and celebrities are feeling right now with like they're over this like how many rappers is getting killed, home invasions, all types of wild.
The Gibbs album, the whole album was, and I don't know if maybe we could add that to another episode like even later on, but I feel like we could talk about that because I know we're Gibbs fans
for sure.
Just like Tyler probably came into being a Gibbs fan around the same time that I became a Tyler fan, and just seeing the transition and just where he's at in his career, how this one is a follow-up to the album that he dropped when he got out of prison and all that. It's a lot of introspective shit on this album, on that album. It's been just a lot of ill shit dropping, yo. And the paranoia is a big thing for rappers right now. It's a lot of rappers talking about the Rico or niggas getting killed or
Niggas can't do nothing.
Nothing right now, bro.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And I think seeing different artists handle this stage is interesting.
Because you don't expect
somebody
like him to really be talking about being paranoid.
But if you think about it, like, yo, there's always like that. You can go all the way back, even like with Hove. You can go back with Ye. You can go back with J. Cole. Like, all these people, and you be like, yo, there was a time when like they kind of get their version of the Paranoid record.
I remember when Drake.
Where like you're just like, oh wow, like, you know,
when Drake started really doing
even when I heard Headlines,
raps.
which is not really like that, but I was like, what? I was like, you're going through that? What's going on?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, wow, like things are changing for them, or like it's not all roses and like bottle popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're stressed out, and I was like, what do they have to stress outside of the workload? Yeah. But like when you be like, wow, like, you know, I hate to say it, but they have like the First World Problem record. Where they're like, everybody looks at me like a cash cow. Yeah. I wish I was broke so niggas would leave me alone. It's like,
yeah, outside of that, I can't really relate to you.
Well, it's me.
But nah, this shit, like, you absolutely relate. Like, I mean, it was something to the tune of like making sure he stays strapped when like hitting the joint from being paranoid, but then also worrying about the chick got a strap like on her to set him up. So it's like damn. And back when I was running the city. Long time ago, baby, long time ago. You know, especially I'm in LA. These are foreign streets, so it's like you making moves late night with sure, yo. I'm circling the block to make sure nobody's in a car waiting, like all types of stuff out of paranoia. So I'm listening to that song, and it's just hitting different. Like, man, plus the beat with it. Don't get me started.
Crazy, for sure. Yeah, yo, good album. It sits the original cut of the album, because there's the bonus vinyl came out with 2 more records, but it sits right at like 52 minutes. Get in, get out.
Pause not too long.
Yeah,
like,
and the thing is,
solid listen.
It doesn't feel like a long album.
No.
When you listen to it,
you're going on a journey,
and it's tough because like there's some 4-minute songs on there.
It's majority 4-minute songs,
but they're not boring.
No.
Like there's changes, there's all these things that, like you said, to your point, to the words you just said, it takes you on a journey. So you're just like there, and like, you know what I mean? Like when it's done, you're like, oh, an hour did go by. Okay.
Yeah. And then you might think about hitting the fucking
run it back.
Honestly, I was so excited day one. Like I'm at work, like cool, yo, I can't wait to go home and listen. Can't wait, because now I don't have a type of job I can listen to this shit in my classroom. So I get home and I'm like, bet, yo, I'm rolling up. Like, my bad, this ain't the type of pod, but yeah, I'm rolling up like, cool, man. I'm like, hey, there we go. I get to the crib, man, I got this little like waterfall joint. Like, let me put this shit on, man. I'm about to zone out, and I'm high with it. And I was just expecting more of just complete vibes. And as I'm high and I'm listening to him, like, oh, this nigga's talking some shit. Hold on. So now I'm trying to focus, but I'm so high, and I'm like, no, I need to go back sober. Like, let me enjoy this. Because I really just thought, cool, I'm going to go on a nice little vibey trip with this. It's going to be some Tyler cool shit. And nah, bro, like, you really go into this like, oh, nigga, we talking about real life shit. But it just so happens to feel good sonically. Like, and which is rare that artists can combine the two with a creativity level, like grown man rap, just all the above. So this album is impeccable. So I've listened to it on everything.
For sure. So I mean,
I think on that note,
I think we did that.
All we could do is say great album.
Great album. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Odd Future, Wolfgang, Kill Them All. It's still OF and not OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? But no disrespect to OnlyFans, but you know, we this is what we're here for today. So yeah, go get that, go listen to it, spin that, yo. Rewarding, I think.
Yes.
It's a rewarding project, yo. So,
worth your time.
You know what I mean? So yeah. You seen us?
Hear that.
Yeah, facts.
What you see is what you get. It's what you get. Then what you see is what you get.